think we're going to learn something in this morning's Coffee With.
Oh, you absolutely will. And there's a web extra that will go online after about 9 o'clock. You're getting ready to meet Jared Brock. Jared, welcome to WJZ. Good morning.
Thanks for having me,
How are
Marty.
you? Okay. And I want to let everybody know we're going to be doing a web extra with Jared after our 4-minute segment here, because this is a subject that sociologically and historically demands more time.
Indeed.
Give them the 30-second version, and then we'll jump in.
So there's a man from Maryland named Josiah Henson, and he is enslaved for more than 40 years before he escapes to Canada with his wife and 4 children. He gets to Canada, he keeps coming back, he rescues 118 people, he wins a medal at the First World's Fair, he starts a freeman settlement that grows to 500 people, and he becomes the inspiration for Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin.
But here's where it gets interesting. As African-American culture becomes more mainstream, as all of America starts realizing the rich history and how it shaped current America, all 50 states, you have the stars, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman. You know what? You start throwing out names, you forget a name, but you get the idea, the marquee stars. But it's the players underneath who many times in any culture's history were the real engine. And you're saying?
Well, what's interesting about Josiah Henson is in his day, he was world famous, right? He's entertained at the White House and Windsor Castle, and the Archbishop of Canterbury weeps when he hears his story. He's world famous, but he somehow gets lost to history, and that's because of his connection to Uncle Tom. As Uncle Tom became a negative thing, history kind of distanced itself from Josiah.
But it's interesting, in my notes here, and I don't often refer to him on the air, over 1 million people Google Frederick Douglass every month. 550,000 search for Harriet Tubman, over 300,000 search for Solomon Northup. But only 2,400 seek out Josiah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I actually plotted it on a graph, and Josiah doesn't even get any color. It just barely registers on the index. So we have a lot of work to do. My hope with this project is to reintroduce the nation to this incredible hero, but also start to have an important conversation about Uncle Tom and how we can redeem that and bring it back to its original connotation, which was Superman.
You're gonna be fighting a big wave on that one.
Well, I'm hoping that the next generation of kids will grow up.
All right. Are you by trade? Are you a historian?
So I'm I'm a documentarian and author. So I have 3 books, 3 docs in so far.
Well, I mean, let me just read you Jared's biography of Josiah is a laudable attempt to piece together the story of a man nearly lost to history and broken by slavery. The Road to Dawn is sure to become required reading in the archives of African American history. Lonnie Bunch III, founding director of the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. That's huge.
Yeah, we're so grateful. We have all sorts of amazing endorsements. I think people are just realizing that now is the time for Josiah's story to get retold.
What is one, okay, we only have about a minute left, but we're going to go online. One thing you would like to leave our audience with about his story that you even went, oh, really? Mm-hmm. And by the way, Josiah ended up in Canada near where you...
I lived less than 2 hours from where Josiah Henson spent the last 50 years of his life, and I'd never heard about him in culture. I'd never heard about him in history class. He just was unknown to me, and so this was baffling, which is why I went on this 3,000-mile journey to retrace his steps.
What is the one thing that when you just sat you back and you went, whoa?
So it's a moment where Josiah gets to the border between America and Canada at the Niagara River, and a kind man offers to pay to send his family across, but he asks him a question first. He says, "Are you going to be a good man?" And Josiah replies, "I will use my freedom well." And history shows that Josiah used his freedom so well. So it makes me ask the question, am I using my freedom well? Am I stewarding my influence and affluence on behalf of those with less? So this is all about stewardship.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. We've shown you the book, wrote it on. Fantastic. We're going to take this online at WJZ.com and continue our discussion with Jared Brock.